Hello everybody, it's your friend Rick. It's August the 20th, 2017. If you need to contact me, my email is rick0327@me.com. Alright, and what you're looking at here is Law Dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary definition. What is Bill of Particulars? Well, Bill of Particulars is going to be added new weapon. Being that I'm having consistent success with the paperwork being filed before going to court, just got an email today from another guy. I added the writ of quo warranto. I rewrote it, and he sent it in with the paperwork, and as predicted, the magistrate and the judge are claiming that their docket is full, so they're going to have a visiting judge. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to duck the writ of quo warranto and the other paperwork being filed. This is a pattern. These judges are running for cover from these writ of quo warrantos. Okay, I've had people in the past criticize the usage of it, and a year ago I filed it and I got a response within 5 days, and next thing you know, I'm in court with the video. I have the video posted, and for a year now I haven't paid child support. All right, and it's got me out of this mess. So the pattern is, when you ask the right questions, you file the right affidavits, and you get the court to run away, it's a good thing. We're going in the right direction. So now the new thing I found was the Bill of Particulars. Now what a Bill of Particulars is, we'll read the definition right here. In practice, it's a written statement or specification of the particulars of the demand for which an action is brought, or of a defendant's set off against such demand, including dates, sums, and items and details, furnished by one of the parties to the other. So what this is really, as my man in Florida, K. Sean, picked up, and now listen, this guy subscribed to my channel a few months ago, and I sent it to him, and he picked up on it right away. He's like, Rick, this is just like an interrogatory. I'm like, yes, it is. Okay, but it's stronger than an interrogatory. Okay, because they have to answer it. And what you do is we file it. I don't like calling them motions. I call them notices to the court. But you file it to the court, and the judge must order the party to answer. Now, what I did was I created two bills of particular, one for the petitioner and one for the court. But let me get back to this, okay? Furnished by one of the parties to the other, either voluntarily or in compliance with the judge's order for the purpose. Now, by you filing a motion to the court, you're asking, you're demanding the court to force the petitioner to answer the questions. Now, what kind of questions are we going to ask? Well, we're going to ask the type of questions of, well, how much can you prove I owe a debt? What is your injury? Questions like that. And when they cannot answer them, then that's proof there's no evidence before the court. Okay, it's very powerful. Very powerful. All right. And you can see it right here. You can look at it. And I'm going to show you real fast what I did. Now, what I'm going to do is, as you can look, hold on a second. What I did was I made a bill of particulars for contempt of court. Now, bill of particular is used mainly for criminal prosecutions. So I have to. The reason why a lot of my paperwork is lengthy, because I'm always thinking of the reasons, because it's happened to me in all the years of my filing paperwork. I've grown used to the court's lame excuses why they can't do what they're supposed to do. So what I do is I try to sidestep it. So I'll present an argument in my paperwork why they have to present, fine for my notice. If I'm demanding this, I'll give you a reason why. So what this is a bill of particulars for contempt of court. Now, remember, when you get the paperwork in the mail, oh, well, let me backtrack. I am trying to eliminate a judge saying, well, this is a civil matter, bill of particulars for a criminal matter. No, it's not. Because remember, when you get in the mail, what do they tell you? They tell you that a contempt order will be filed against you, and then they also say you may be incarcerated. So to me, contempt and incarceration are considered criminal matters. Okay? So that's the reason why we're going to do this. All right? So now, because I got to worry about people stealing my paperwork, I can't show you everything. I'm not going to help any other channel steal my paperwork. All right. Again, I'm doing this. I'm doing this hard work because I'm trying to get compensated myself. Again, I'm not asking for a lot of money. So it's like I meet you halfway. Okay. I'm trying to get compensated, but I'm also not trying to hit you over the head. I'm asking for a fraction of what I really could get. All right, so let me give you an idea here. All right, so what is the jurisdiction and venue of the alleged cause of actions? What provisions of the Constitution confers authority to proceed in this jurisdiction? You understand where I'm going there? The court. Now, this is also, by the way, this is addressed to the court, because I find that now most bills in particular are addressed to the prosecution, because in criminal matters you're communicating with the prosecution. The prosecution is prosecuting you on behalf of the petitioner or the claimant. So you're asking questions to the prosecution because you have a right to know these things. You have the right to know the nature and cause. You have a right to see the evidence being used against you, so you can create questions to ask during the trial by jury. Okay, so you can ask questions of the witness, ask questions to the prosecution, and that's how you proceed. That way you can win your case. Okay, so of course I'm going to ask what the jurisdiction is. I'm going to ask what part of the Constitution confers jurisdiction, state and federal Constitution confers jurisdiction to the court. Okay, now let me show you one. Now this is going to the, I'm sorry, what we got here? This is the one going to the petitioner. Now, this is good because this is for like the baby mama. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to send it, you're going to file it in the court, but before you do that, you're going to send to the baby mama by an affidavit of service. Okay, the affidavit of service is going to be sworn by a friend of yours, a family member, and under Federal Rule 5, all you have to do as part of proper service is to drop it in the mailbox and you're covered. Okay? Things get lost in the mail all the time. You're covered. So long as you could, that's what the affidavit of service is. A family member or a friend of yours is swearing that a true copy of a notice to court, a bill of particulars, was dropped in a mailbox under the care and custody of the United States Postal Service. That you're covered. Okay, and then what you do is you take the affidavit of service and you provide it with this right here. You staple it to this and you present it to the court. That way, proper service has been rendered and you're covered now. Okay, it's a very powerful weapon. This is going to be presented right away. And what I did was I worded it in such a way that if the answers aren't forthcoming, this will be introduced as evidence. And by the way, they have 30 days to respond. Okay, so again, what we're doing is we're filing all of these things before appearing in court. Most, 99% of the time, before I made the mistake. Well, I didn't really make the mistake. I tried to do everything right. I just ran into probably in family court the most corrupt woman working there. This woman, Sudeep Carmen. She belongs in handcuffs. Hopefully one day she will be arrested. Okay, she should be in handcuffs. She's a criminal. I mean, I have her on video, her violating my rights. Okay, so you know what? The worm. There is such thing as karma. So hopefully one day she will be arrested. But that's what happened. I went into court and I ran into her, and it didn't matter what I presented. It didn't matter if I had an attorney. When I didn't have an attorney, it didn't matter. Her goal is to meet her incentive goals that these support magistrates have. It's all about money in family court. It's all about money. They don't care about children. They don't care about anything. All they care about is your social security number. If you don't have a job, they will still tell you got to pay child support, and the bill will be running. So, you got to pay child support, but Your Honor, I don't have a job. Well, you get a job, and then they'll issue the order. Next thing you know, if you're out of work for 6 months, you could owe thousands of dollars in arrears. They don't care. Okay, but what we're doing here is that we're fighting them the legal way now. Okay, even though these are kangaroo courts, they still have to proceed under the appearance of a court. So that means they have to appear to be impartial. We know they're not, but they still have to appear. Now, how do they appear it? Well, that's what paper's for. We use paper. We use these things right here. Now, by having this and you get it stamped, it's proof that you did all the things that you were supposed to do. The thing is, most people don't take it that far, or most people don't do their homework. Most people become victims. But everybody that's subscribed to my channel, who takes the time to watch my videos and takes the time to listen to what I have to say, you're not a victim anymore. Okay? You're not a victim anymore. You're learning. And reach out to me. This is now part of my paperwork. Okay? So if you have an upcoming hearing coming, it's very important that you use this. Okay? And it's also important to present this to the court. If you're facing a contempt of court, okay, anybody that's facing a contempt of court, you file this right away. And you start asking the questions, okay? What is each and every elements of the crime? Okay? Now see what I did here? I switched it up. You know what I do? I usually use uppercase words. I switched it up. Again, I don't want to fall into any kind of pattern. I want these people to think that it's not being prepared by another. I want them to think it's prepared by you. And I'm telling you that they're on to me. Okay, they're on to me. A guy got paperwork from the family court over here in Queens, and the order was actually stamped by the clerk of the court, and it was done the way it's supposed to be done. I mean, it's still a void judgment, but ever since Rick W. here, YouTube channel that they're well aware of, started telling people that it has to be signed by the clerk and it has to be entered and all this other stuff, they're doing that now. So one guy actually got the paperwork, copies of it, and he sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, look at this. They're actually following their own procedures now. Okay, doesn't matter. It's still a void judgment, but they're trying. All right. So what we have here now is I'm going to finish up the video. The bill of particulars. You're going to file this, and again, we're on the right track. Okay. Again, when you present these things to the court and they can't answer these questions when they're required by law to do it, it's only going to help us. Okay, it may not help right away, but again, we're going to have to take this, the writ of mandamus, and then you're going to, if the writ of mandamus don't work out, you still have the appeal. Okay, and the thing is, what we're doing is also, with one of the things I ask before you go to court, I demand right away a trial by jury. That is your constitutional right. And the Court of Appeals, they can only address constitutional deprivations of guarantees to the Constitution. They don't get involved in the rules and procedures. That's for the appellate level. But also this bill in particular is going to be used to establish jurisdiction. The writ of quo warranto is used to establish jurisdiction. Okay? The writ of mandamus is used to establish jurisdiction. If you do not establish jurisdiction before an appeal, you're done. So we have to get it done. And by using these tools. All right, so listen, I'm going to end this video. And anybody's interested, you can reach out to me at rick0327@me.com. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go watch Game of Thrones. Talk to you later.